Hello everyone, how are we all doing? My name is Trevon from freestudiotime.com, and today I'm about to show you how to use Autotune. So let's get straight into it. So when a lot of people think about the word Autotune, they think about automatic pitch correction. They don't understand that Autotune is actually a brand of the people who first designed automatic pitch correction. Of course, there's many different types of other variations of that specific type of software now, but anyways, just keep in mind that Autotune is a brand. It's not just a general type of software. So first thing I'm gonna do is go over Autotune Pro, which is about $300 off of their website. This Autotune is very nice for very natural automatic pitch correction. It's really cool. Next thing we're gonna do is go over Waves Rotune, which is about 70 or 80 bucks off of Waves. Definitely the cheaper alternative for you. Is really nice. We're gonna use pitch correction with that one as well, and I'm gonna show you the differences that these two specific types of pitch correction softwares make. So first, let me show you what this Autotune sounds like with it activated versus deactivated.
Woke up for the thought up, I'm choosing, I know. Can't stay stuck, turn my eyes up, just a feeling of the go. There's no nigga that could be here, but you already got it there.
Alright, now let's turn it off.
As long as I'ma be here, no, I gotta keep it real. Yo, woke up, there's no time, I do everything except for chill. I give no fucks, can't get tired of trying to fix this shit and everything. And as long as I'ma be here, I'ma just never doubt.
Now to me that sounds pretty good, pretty natural. I'm pretty sure if I was totally new to this song and I was another person just now listening to this, I would definitely not even notice that there's Autotune on this. Using Autotune Pro allows you to have that type of sound compared to a lot of other pitch correction software. That's why Autotune is so popular, because they have a lot of great pitch correction software, since it is of course what they are known for. Now in our Autotune Pro, there's a few different types of adjustments I have to make up here. First things first, what you want to do whenever using Autotune is make sure you get the key and the scale right. In this case, the key of my song is in G minor. Now over here we have the tracking knob right here. What this controls is sensitivity of the Autotune to your voice, and this can be very useful in situations where you may have a lot of background noise present. It kind of makes the Autotune a bit more saturated. Is really nice to use. I turn it up to 80 just because I'm using a chaotic eyeball right now, which can cause a little bit of muffliness and low end to seep into those audio recordings a little bit more, so I wanted to make sure I totally got that taken care of by using tracking. Really nice thing to use. Over here, retune speed. So retune speed is essentially like note transition, and the further you have this knob up right here, the more natural it sounds. The lower you have this knob, the more robotic it sounds. I find a nice little sweet spot at 26. The only thing about using really high retune speeds, you would think a really high retune speed means a more natural sounding vocal, but in most cases it starts to sound like the Autotune isn't even working on your vocal at all when you have the retune speed too high. So I've just noticed that 26 is really nice for the type of music that I like to make. So right here we have Flex Tune, a little special knob within Autotune. It says it preserves expressive vocal gestures present in the incoming audio signal. Set to higher settings to allow more vocal expression to come through in the pitch corrected version. Now things like this I normally don't like to tweak around with too much, because I like the majority of my power to be coming from my vocals, and when you start putting too much pressure on the Autotune, that's when you start to get those more robotic sounding songs, which is what I normally don't really go for. But if you're going for a more robotic electronic type sound, using stuff like this can be a little bit more helpful for you. Now for natural vibrato, obviously there's no way you can make a natural vibrato from Autotune. So this is going to be obviously using a bit of processing power from this Autotune, which is a very similar situation like the Flex Tune. I rather avoid stuff like this and have the majority of the power to be coming from my vocals and not this plugin. I strictly want to use this to pitch correct my vocals and get them to be in the right tune. Now Humanize, I cannot even lie, is a pretty useful knob compared to both of these, and the reason I say that is because even after you make these adjustments over here, this allows you to make your vocals sound a bit more natural. So of course any person with a brand would want to use this a little bit more, that is going for natural not robotic sounding vocals. Using too much humanized can cause your vocals to sound a bit bad though at sometimes, so I try to make sure I just add a very little bit. Sometimes I go to 15, sometimes I go to 10. In this case, I just went to 20. Up here, you can control how much you want this turned up in the mix. FYI, normally whenever I try to turn this down in the mix, I start to get like some pretty funky sounds, which I don't really enjoy at all. So I find it to sound always best at 100%, and you make the proper adjustments over here, though other pitch correction softwares don't necessarily work like that. Last cool thing I wanted to go over is format. Now, I talked a little bit about format in a few of my other videos, but if you don't really know how this works, let me actually show you a little example of me playing with this format knob.
Yeah. Woke up feeling fired up, I'm keen, so you gotta know. Can't stay stuck, keep my eyes out, just to find another third. There's no nigga that could be here, but you.
So yeah, that format sounds kind of bad right now, only because I haven't mixed these vocals yet. But when you put this over some mixed vocals, it starts to sound a bit more unique, and you can just place this in different areas. You may want to use a automation clip for this format knob right here. You can place that format in different areas of your song, and it can sound pretty cool if you use it in the right way. Or you can just turn the format up or down by a very little bit to make your vocal sound a bit more interesting depending on the type of vibe you're going for in that song. So very cool thing to use in some parts. I'll show graph mode right here. This allows you to do manual pitch correction. I normally don't use this because manual pitch correction takes a lot of time that I don't like to use. But anyways, if you come down here, you have the option to choose between a few different scales, control the actual pitch of your auto-tune. And then you can come down here for a vibrato and control what type of vibrato that you want to have. You have a little bit more detailed adjustments over the vibrato versus just this one knob right here, which is kind of cool, but I don't normally use any of this stuff anyway. So, and last thing over here, you can choose instrument type, soprano, alto tenor, low middle instrument. I normally just choose alto tenor. I don't have the deepest voice, alto tenor. So that's our $300 plugin. Let me show you what Waves Autotune sounds like for 70 bucks.
Yeah. Woke up feeling fired up, I'm keen, so you gotta know. Can't stay stuck, keep my eyes out, just to find another third. There's no nigga that could be here, but you already know the deal. And as long as I'ma be here, no, I just gotta keep it real. Yo, woke up, it's no time, I do everything except for chill. I give no.
So let's turn Waves Autotune off.
Yeah. Woke up feeling fired up, I'm keen, so you gotta know. Can't stay stuck, keep my eyes out, just to find another third. There's no nigga that could be here, but you already know the deal. And as long as I'ma be here, no, I just gotta keep it real.
So yeah, as you just heard, it's just not as natural sounding as the Autotune Pro, in my personal opinion. To me, it just sounds like this pitch correction software has a bit harder of a time transitioning from note to note, and it makes the actual finished product sound a bit more unnatural than I would like it to be. But if we're saying, is this a bad pitch correction software? Absolutely not. This can definitely get the job done for those who actually need it. In my personal opinion, I was just looking for a more professional sound, and I was desperately struggling to get the more professional sounding song. So I came to a point where I realized that Waves Autotune just wasn't going to give me that professional sound that I desperately needed. Don't get me wrong, you can still get a professional sound out of this. For some people, this may be all you need, but for me personally, I was looking for the most refined sound that I could possibly get out of my Autotune. And as you can see down here, it's a bit more simplistic than Autotune Pro. You have a lot less to choose from as far as personalizing your auto-tune, but you pretty much have everything you need. You have a speed, note transition, you have the sense and a time. You can control the time of your pitch correction, and the sense control the off pitch settings for the auto-tune. You can control mix level for the auto-tune. Really cool. You have the range, which you can mimic after your dynamic range, and the reference pitch. So that's my explanation of auto-tune and Waves Autotune. Now, if you were to ask me, should you choose between Waves Autotune or Autotune Pro, I'd honestly say buy Autotune, because you have the option to choose between automatic pitch correction and manual pitch correction. I don't personally like to use manual pitch correction that much, but I know a lot of people like to do that instead of using automatic pitch correction, which is totally fine. But throwing that fact out of the way, you have so much more ways to personalize the type of autotune that you want and just make your autotune sound a bit more crispier and natural. And when you're comparing all of that to the Waves Rotune for $80 off of Waves, it's really honestly kind of hard to make a comparison. But alright everyone, if you're a beginner wondering how to mix your vocals within FL Studio with stock plugins or stock VSTs, make sure you hit the link in my description so I can give you a detailed step-by-step guide on how to do just that. I hope you got a lot of value out of this video everyone. If you did, make sure you hit like and subscribe. I'll catch you all in the next one.